Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to our second series of our GoodWe Pro series webinars. In this series, we'll be focusing mostly on the C&I portfolio. The structure of this webinar will be that I will do a very brief company introduction. Then Patrick, CMO, our technical pre-sales engineer, will take us through the C&I portfolio. Then in the last few minutes, we'll go through the Q&A session. But I'd like to still encourage you to use the Q&A button in case you have any questions in the middle of the webinar. So thank you, and we'll begin right away. So just I think a general introduction, I am Olo Chalvis, Technical Service Engineer, the Sub-Saharan Africa. And with me, I have Patrick, CMO, the Technical Pre-Sales Engineer, Sub-Saharan Africa. GoodWe is a solution provider and a top inverter manufacturer with a vision in driving the world's smart energy future. Our mission is to be the main driving force in the global energy transition. And with that in mind, we have installed over 4 million units, which translates to 78,000 gigawatt hours of power generated annually. And therefore, we save 7,800 million tons of CO2 annually. In terms of milestones, our company was first established in 2010. We have had our R&D centers developed. We've also had our headquarters in Germany being established, and also our service centers and our training centers so that we can be able to train people on technologies. We've also been able to be listed in the Shanghai Stock Exchange, and we are a licensed partner for General Electric. In terms of the GoodWe family, the workforce, we have a total of over 4,600 employees with over 800 dedicated R&D staff. Therefore, we are really dedicated in bringing the best products to the market and that are in line with the most recent technologies. We have over 150 overseas employees so that we can be able to offer localized support in terms of sales, pre-sales, and also after sales. In terms of global revenue, you can see just from the chart on the bottom right, in 2016, we started with 64 million, and by the end of 2022, we were at over 1 billion USD. Therefore, that really shows on how much our company has grown through the years. In terms of global awards, we have won quite a few. The awards are there to show that we are not just saying or boasting that we are a good inverter manufacturer, but also that we have been monitored by third parties who are internationally recognized. Just to mention a few, we've had the two Rayland Awards, the Wood Mackenzie as was #1 residential inverter supplier. We have been recognized by the PV magazine, by Bloomberg, and also we've won the EcoVadis silver medal for EcoVadis, which deals with the ESG topics. In terms of our production capacity, we are able to do 30 gigawatts for solar inverters and 2.1 gigawatt hours in terms of battery capacity. In our global installations, we have a global cumulative capacity of 52 gigawatts, with 4 gigawatts being in energy storage, 23 gigawatts in residential, 4 gigawatts in utility, and 21 gigawatts in commercial and industrial projects. As I had mentioned before, we are a licensed partner with General Electric. So this has a lot to show in terms of our product quality and how it is believed in our market. Therefore, we are able to be a licensed partner with General Electric, and we make for them the inverters. In terms of our GoodWe portfolio, this is our general GoodWe portfolio, we have residential inverters in terms of 0.7 to 20 kilowatts, energy storage 3 to 100 kilowatts, C&I between 25 to 120 kilowatts, our utility scale inverters between 225 and 350 kilowatts. We also have our own lithium batteries, both for residential and C&I, and we also have building integrated photovoltaic system. This is just a photo of our portfolio. You can see we have our string inverters, our batteries, our EV charger, and even our BIPV. Just a quick run through our portfolio. We have our residential string inverters, which run from 700 watts to 20 kilowatts, with our smallest being the XS, 700 watts to 3 kilowatts with 1 MPPT. The SDT series, between 4 to 20 kilowatts with 2 MPPTs. The MS, 5 to 10 kilowatts with 3 MPPTs. The DNS G3, 3 to 6 kilowatts with 2 MPPTs. Some of the unique features are that you can oversize on the DC side up to 100%, depending on the inverter. They are compact and lightweight. Just as an example, the XS series is the size of an A4. Then in terms of safety, it can be integrated with the AFCI, and SPD on the AC and DC are available for all inverters. They have a maximum current input of 25 amps. Therefore, they are compatible with most high power modules, and they have up to 3 MPPT trackers. Therefore, you can be able to do stringing on various orientations. On our energy storage inverters, we have between 3 to 50 kilowatts. Starting with our ESG2, it's our low voltage inverter between 3 to 6 kilowatts. We have the ES Unique, which is a new inverter between 8 to 12 kilowatts, also uses low voltage batteries. We have our EH Plus, which is our single phase with high voltage batteries between 3.6 and 6 kilowatts. Then we have the ET Plus, 5 to 10 kilowatts, which is also high voltage. Then we have the ET between 15 and 50 kilowatts, also high voltage. Of course, some of the advantages with this is that you maximize self-consumption because you are able to have storage. Our inverters have UPS level switching. That means when the grid goes off, you do not feel any effects in terms of lights going on and off. Then they have a very, very wide battery voltage range. And for our three-phase, you're able to realize 100% unbalanced output. I'll just run through our ES Unique, which is our newest inverter in terms of the single phase low voltage. It is in the sizes of 8, 10, and 12. Then one major technical thing that it has is that it has a separate diesel generator input. Therefore, you have the grid inputs, then the diesel generator inputs. Then it is compatible with our Lynx A battery, which I'll mention in a few. Then it supports on and off grid parallelly up to 16 units. In terms of our battery portfolio, we have our Lynx A, which is also new. Between one module is 5 kilowatts, but it can be paralleled up to 30 pieces to give you 150 kilowatt hours. We have the Lynx from U series. One module is 5.4, but can be paralleled up to 32.4 kilowatt hours. The two Lynx A and Lynx U are low voltage batteries. Then we have our Lynx from F series. That one module is 3.3, but you normally put at least 2 modules. That's why we have the 6.6. And one tower can carry 5, which gives you 16.4. But you can parallel them to give you up to 132 kilowatt hours. For batteries, they do have module auto recognition, remote monitoring and upgrade, as everything is done through the inverter. And it is safe and reliable because they use lithium technology. And just going through our newest battery, the Lynx A, is that it has a 1.5 C rating, therefore you are able to discharge more. Then it has 6,000 cycles. And then, as I had mentioned before, it can be scaled up to 150 kilowatt hours. That is 30 modules. In terms of EV chargers, we have in the sizes of 7, 11, and 22, with 7 being single phase, 11 and 22 being three phase. They do enable you to have smart charging management. They are compatible with all EV brands, and the charging cable is included. Just run through of the C&I, Patrick will go deeper into it. We have the SDT, the SMT, and the HT. The SDT is 25 kilowatts with 2 MPPTs. The SMT, we have between 25 and 36. Then we have 60 and 50 kilowatts, with the 25 and 36 having 3 MPPTs, 50 having 5 MPPTs, and 60 kilowatts having 6 MPPTs. For the HT, we have in the sizes between 100 and 120 with up to 12 MPPTs. Some unique features is that, of course, the 12 MPPTs, so you can be able to do string on different orientations. You can be able to operate at full load up to 50 degrees Celsius. And also it's important to mention that you can be able to do AC overloading. So it operates at full load, 50 degrees Celsius when it is overloaded. Then it can start derating. Then it can also be integrated with the AFCI. Then you can also do the DC oversizing up to 50%. And they can also be able to have power line communication. Then we also have energy storage solution in terms of the ETC-BTC inverters, the sizes of 50 and 100 kilowatts. Then we have the Link C battery, which is our C&I battery, the sizes between 101, 138, and 156 kilowatt. Of course, it has maximum cell consumption. You have UPS power supply, and you have reduced peak demand. And because also you are able to draw more from the solar, you have the advantage of a lower electricity cost. Then you also have offer turnkey utility scale solutions. You can see we have the panels, then the on-grid inverters. In this case, it's showing the 250 PV inverter. Then we have the MVS station. Then we have our communication box, the SCB3000. Then you can be able to do weather monitoring. Then we also have our monitoring platform, the Smart Energy Monitoring Platform, SEMS. Then we also have our MV stations in various sizes, 3, 7, and we are developing the 9 kilowatt. This really helps you in terms of easy operational maintenance. It is a compact structure. It is housed in, as you can see, the housing, which also helps you in terms of convenient shipment. And it is also fitted with all the safety devices that you may need in an MVS station. Therefore, I will end my session there, and I would like to welcome Patrick to continue with the C&I solution.
Hello, everyone. Yes, as I was introduced before, my name is Patrick Usiemu. I'm the technical pre-sales engineer for the Sub-Saharan Africa. And yes, I do welcome you to today's webinar, which will be focusing on the C&I, GoodWe C&I solution. So yes, let me just share my screen shortly. Yes, I do hope you can see my screen. So GoodWe do offer C&I solutions, and our packages of C&I solution are in 3 major. We'll be focusing on 3 series: the SDT series, SMT, and the HT series. Now, as you can see, our packages are ranging from 17 kilowatt all the way up to 120 kilowatts. These are 3-phase inverters. Just yeah, for information. And looking on to the SDT series, we see that it can hold up to 2 MPPTs, packages of power ranging from 17 to 25 kilowatts. The SMT will pick up from 25 kilowatts to 60 kilowatts. Mind you, there are packages in between. We have 25, we have 30, we have 50, we have 60. Maximum will hold 6 MPPTs. We have the HT series, which is our bigger rated C&I inverter. rated between 100 kilowatts to 120 kilowatts, and you can get a maximum of 12 mpps. In all of these three series of inverters, we have the unique features which ensure that your installation will utilize up to 12 mpps depending on the package of inverter chosen. Why 12 mpps? Because you might want to use your different terrains, different orientations on the roof to ensure maximum utilization or maximum generation of PV. Additionally, the inverters have a full load operation of at 50 degrees. This means at temperatures below 45 degrees, the inverters will be giving an additional 10% AC overload output. For example, if you are taking 100 kilowatt rated inverters, temperatures below 45 degrees will allow you to generate up to 110 kilowatt AC output. An additional feature which is optional, needs to be pre-ordered, is the arc-fault circuit interrupter, just in case you need your insurance to be valid. The arc-fault circuit interrupter will allow you to sense any arc faults on the PV DC side of the inverter, and the inverter will be able to go to standby, thus ensuring safety of your installation. All these series allow 50%, additional 50% DC oversizing. Yes, just to increase your self-consumption, increase your generation output, or just to counter the losses that will be happening on the PV side or on the DC cable losses that will be happening on your PV installation. So yes, 150% DC oversizing. And the power line communication is applicable to the big size rated inverter, that is the HT series. This, when you utilize the PLC or the power line communication, you won't need to install the RS-45 communication, because the inverters will be communicating through the same AC cable output that's generating power from the outputting power from the inverter. So we do have a control system that will handle the power line communication. Just a quick snapshot of what you should expect when you're taking or choosing either of these or any of these series of inverters. We see that we have the SDT is the smaller rating, 17 to 25 kilowatt AC. SMT is between 25 to 60. HT will be between 100 to 120. All of these are three-phase, meaning all of them will be outputting volts of between 400 to 415 line-to-line AC output. You can utilize MPPTs between minimum 2 all the way to 12 MPPTs just by selecting either from these three options. You see that all of these inverter series are compatible with high current modules. I will expand on this later in the upcoming slides. And we do have high efficiencies. You see our minimum efficiency is 98.4%. And we support big string connections. You see our MPPT is able to handle up to 1100 volts DC. Different or flexible ways of communication. RS-45 for long distance, Wi-Fi for short distance. Yes, LAN, PLC for specific inverter series. And our IP ratings are also very high. You are able to install our inverters in outdoor conditions or indoor conditions. You see the IP level is IP65 minimum. We do offer a series of protection levels, up to 13 protection levels, but for here we'll mention just a few. We have an SPD protection for the AC and for the DC side, type 2 SPDs. Yes, and the PID recovery option for the bigger rated of inverters, that is the SMT and the HT series. PID recovery, I will expand on this later on in the upcoming slides. I did mention we have the arc-fault circuit interrupter, AFCI, optional if you want to increase the level of protection of your PV system in terms of locality prone to lightning occurrences or loose connections of your MC4 connectors. Typically, if you're installing our GoodWe C&I solution, what you will be expecting to install is as displayed in your screens. We have the PV modules. Actually, the inverters are string modules, so the PVs will be connecting, the PV strings connect directly to the inverters, PV ports. And at the output side, we'll have the AC output connecting to the AC combiner box, to the loads or to the grid, depending on your working mode. GoodWe also offers a control system, choosing either the easy logger, the SEC 1000, and you'll see in the upcoming slides, you can also choose this GoodWe smart meter, and you'll be able to utilize your system or install and depending on the working mode or depending on your grid operator restrictions, your system will be an all-in-one solution. How this system can be utilized or where they can be utilized, it's yes, it is a C&I, so you can do this installation for hospitals, schools, office buildings, and factories as well. So yes, packages between 17 kilowatts all up to the 120 kilowatts. Output, generation output. I do have a number of typical application scenarios that our products are able to be utilized in. For example, we see in case you want to do export power limits or load monitoring, GoodWe does offer this kind of solution. How do we get to utilize this? For example, you can do load monitoring and zero export through the SEC 1000. SEC 1000 is a very robust controller, up to 3 communication ports for your PV inverters. Each port can hold a maximum of 20 devices, so you can do up to 60 devices for the SEC 1000. The SEC 1000 has very unique features because you can do dynamic reactive power control. You can do batch update of your whole plant. You can do batch control, batch settings of your whole plant in case you need to. So those are the very unique features that the SEC 1000 has. The SEC 1000 also allow you to connect third-party cities because yes, the smart meter inside and the whole control box how it's wired, it is able to work with the cities whose primary, secondary rating is 5 amps. So yes, these are the unique features that you can be able to utilize with the SEC 1000. In case you're doing a single installation, then yes, this is possible and it's quite simple. You can utilize the GM GoodWe has its own smart meter. So we have 2 kinds of smart meters. The GM 3000, which will come with CT clamp meters. So yes, in case your AC cable rating is below, current rating is below 120 amps, then the GM 3000 smart meter will be applicable. If the incomer of the grid is has a higher rating or has a bigger sized cable, then the GM 3000C is applicable. Reason being the GM 3000C can work with third-party cities. Yeah, so will be you can connect the 5 amp secondary rated city to this smart meter and link this smart meter to directly to the inverter, and you'll be able to control your export, control zero export, control your plant. Another way you can do your installation apart from using the SEC 1000 or the GoodWe smart meters is using the Easy Logger, the GoodWe Easy Logger Pro. If your plant is quite big and you want to use different series of inverters, yes, the Easy Logger will allow you to do this. Reason being, you can connect the smart meter to 1 port, and the other remaining 3 ports, you can connect different series of inverter. For example, the first port, you can install the SMT series, yes, between the 25 all the way to 60. The other port, you can connect the HT series, whichever rating of HT series. And the remaining port, you can connect another series of inverter, which is the SD series, whichever rating of the SD series as well. So yes, you can utilize different products of the GoodWe using the Easy Logger Pro. One more typical application is we do realize that there are high current modules being manufactured right now, going to the bifacial modules as well. And we noticed that the generations taking from 2012 all the way to 2023 and yes, 2024, the wafer sizes are increasing from 156 all the way to 210 wafer sizes. And currently the market is filled with the 182 wafer and the 210 wafer. And if you take a look on the right side, we have an analysis of what to expect from these big wafer sizes. The big wafer sizes, the bigger the wafer size, the more the current rating, the higher rating the short circuit current rating. You see that we have current ratings of up to 18.62 for the 210 mm wafer sizes. And for the 182 mm wafer sizes, we have currents which are just under 14 amperes. Yes. And how these were key to our inverters. Our inverters do have a higher rated MPPTs. So an MPPT for the GoodWe inverters will be 30 amps MPPT current per 30 amps current per MPPT. And if you are selecting the 182 mm, as I mentioned before, the current will be under 14 amps. You can utilize both PV ports, and in return, you can utilize all the PV ports of the inverter. Therefore, you can maximize on your DC oversizing. And in case you have a bigger rated, all the 210 mm wafer sizes modules, whose currents or short circuit current is maximum 18.62 or even more, you will be required to utilize only a single port of the MPPT. Each MPPT can take 2 ports, so you can use a single port. And with this flexible application, you can use either of the 182 or the 210 mm wafers and still utilize or allow you to generate the peak generation of the inverter or your plant. We do realize that grids are sometimes unstable in various countries in Africa. So our inverters are also capable to integrate with the genset in case your grid fails. So how do we integrate with the gensets? GoodWe is compatible with various hybrid controllers, third-party hybrid controllers. On your right, you see at least 3 examples. We have the Encombi, we have Dive, and we have the Meteor Control. Meteor Control have a controller called BlueLog. So BlueLog is compatible with our on-grid inverters. You connect our on-grid inverters to the third-party hybrid controller, and through this, the inverters can work with the hybrid controller to minimize the consumption from the grid. And once the grid fails and the generator kicks in, the inverters are able to work with the third-party hybrid controller to reduce the fuel consumption of your generator, therefore utilizing or minimizing the costs of energy consumption for the PV installation done. One more feature that you can do with the PV integration is that our inverters can be controlled through frequency mode shifting. So in this sense, when the inverters are generating more than the load, then through the frequency control, our inverter generation can be curtailed depending on the load, just to prevent any backfeed of power towards the generator. Therefore, you still maintain your efficiency of your genset, no minimum maintenance, less consumption of fuel, and such when you do the frequency shift control technique with our GoodWe C&I inverters. I mentioned that there are harsh environments in Africa as well, the tropics. Yes, the temperatures are high. And this is not a problem with GoodWe solutions. But this one being, in case you're doing ground mount installations or you're doing installations in roofs facing different terrains, different angles and such, we have numerous MPPTs and each MPPT can work independently. So if your roof or your string faces a different direction, that MPPT will be tracked and ensure that it's outputting maximum depending on its angle. If your installation or your string is done in a very tilted or has a different shadow, part of it is under shadow, then similarly, that MPPT will work independently to ensure that that string generates maximum according to it and not affecting the rest of the 10 or 11 or 12 MPPTs. Mention that our inverters do have 110 AC overloading, output AC overloading. And I gave an example of the HT 100 kilowatts. Temperatures below 45 degrees will allow the 100 kilowatts to generate additional 10 kilowatts power generation. So the 100 kilowatt will be giving you 110 at temperatures below 45 degrees. Temperatures more than 45 degrees to 50 degrees will make the inverter direct. So at 50 degrees, you will get the nominal output of the inverter. That being at 50 degrees, you have a 100 kilowatt rated inverter, you'll be getting 100 kilowatt. Temperatures above 50 degrees, the inverters will direct more, but rarely do we have temperatures above 50 degrees. And Matthew, if you're doing installations on the near the seashore, our inverters can be manufactured with a C5 rated protection level. So yes, no corrosion on our inverters, no ingress on our inverters, ensuring that the warranties or the uninterrupted power supply from our PV installations. I mentioned the type 2, type 3 installations, SPDs installed on our PV side and our AC side. So yes, your system is already protected with SPDs on the DC and on the AC side, quite ensuring your system is quite safe and reliable. For the installation done on near to coastlines with high humidity, high saline conditions, inverters, the SMT and the HT series come with the PID integrated recovery. And how is this beneficial? It's not only beneficial for the inverter, but for the modules as well. If your modules are, well, your modules will surely degrade during the day, and we have to reverse this degradation of the modules. How it's done is in the night when there is no more generation, the inverter will be charging 600 volts to the negative side of the PV strings. And in this effect, it will be reversing the lost electrons that were escaping to the PV frames as the module were generating during the day. So come the next day, your PV will be back to the normal working condition, thereby ensuring that your lifespan or the life cycle of installation is elongated. In case you want higher yields with for your PV system, again, GoodWe is one of, yes, it can provide such a solution. Reason being, we have many numerous MPPTs from 2 up to 12 MPPTs, yes. And how to utilize this, you can see that, yes, with the different MPPTs, you can have strings, unfortunately, being covered by dust. Unfortunately, the plants are big, so part of it are covered by cloud cover, or part of the modules are overheating, or there are some cell damages. These strings will be working independently and not affecting the rest of the PV. This is in contrary with the central inverters, that any string that gets covered or impacted negatively, then the whole system are impacted. Yes. So yes, we can shield you from the hotspots, dusts, string mismatch, and orientations or inclinations of your PV installation, but still ensure that your PV is generating as required. Additionally, because of the 50% oversize on the DC side and the 10% overload on the AC side, our inverters can be able to handle big PV installation up to 1.5 if you're taking the big, if you have a big, you want to do a 1 megawatt AC rated system, you can oversize it to 1.5 megawatt on the DC side. The same 1 megawatt AC rated installation can do an additional 1.1 or 100 kilowatt additional AC output. So DC oversizing, maximum generation, maximum output of your inverter. So a minimal number of inverters, but yes, high rating or high output from our inverters. The MPPTs designed or that were integrated in our inverters are very sensitive, or when I say they are quick to generate. So generation can happen at very early or early in the early mornings and still continue generating to the late evenings. Reason being, we have a startup voltage of 200 volts per string. So any of the strings reaching a 200 volts is enough to jumpstart the inverter to begin its daily generation. So yes, you'll be having a lots of units generated daily, ensuring your high generation throughout the year, or utilizing the low seasons, so the peak lows, low sun hours during the day. And when it reaches the high sun hours, then you'll be surely generating the peak with the additional 10%. We noted that there are different ways that you can communicate with various smart devices. So GoodWe inverters are also smart in the same manner, and they offer various ways of communicating or configuring or monitoring them. For example, we do have Wi-Fi and LAN. Yes, if you want to do limit or you're limited to 50 meters of communication, then through Wi-Fi inverters can communicate. If you want to elongate this distance to 100 meters, then you can use the LAN protocol. And if you want to do, if you're doing isolated installations, then the inverters can connect through 4G dongles, and each inverter connecting to the same server, same plant. You can consolidate all these isolated plants to make a single or a whole centralized plant. Yes, and this is minimizing cable costs, installation time and such, and many others difficulties that come with linking all these by wired connection. Yes, so through 4G connection, you can do our installations. We can do installation using our inverters. That is the SMT and the HT series. And if you're doing installations which do require wired connection, but the distances in between the inverters are very long, then yes, you can do Modbus RTU protocol, which is the RS-35, distances up to 1,000 meters. And yes, if you're taking the SEC 1,000, you can do up to 60 inverters. Well, 60 inverters is quite big because we have 120 kilowatts. So if you do 60 of 120 kilowatts, do the math, that is megas of installations. So yes, isolated inverters or isolated stations, you can do wireless, you can do wired. We do have all those kinds of communication. Compatible with third-party devices. I mentioned meter control, yes, and other controllers. We do have this, our communication are open. We just need to request for it, and I will avail all this, the Modbus protocol, and you will ensure control using the third-party controllers. In case you want to do plant performance ratio, the PR, yes, most of our clients do want assurance on the PR, and GoodWe also allows this. How is this achieved? Yes, the Easy Logger is compatible with the third-party monitoring weather stations. Well, the weather station should communicate through RS-45, so the Modbus RTU protocol needs to be observed. The weather station can carry all kinds of sensors: wind speed, irradiance, yes, data logger, air temperature, humidity. All those weather conditions can be monitored once you take in the Easy Logger and link it to your plant. So yes, you can do the PR monitoring once the weather conditions are integrated with your plant. In case you prefer, we are not just fixing or limiting you to our own designed SEMS portal. You do have a chance of integrating our SEMS portal with the third-party monitoring portal, and we can achieve this through the API function. So through API, we link our SEMS monitoring portal, which is free. Yes, but yes, in case you want more than free, then API is there for you. And through API, you can monitor them through your plant with your required monitoring or unique monitoring portal. One more requirement to activate this API feature is signing an NDA with the GoodWe, and yes, this protocol can be availed to you. In case you want to scale up your system or you want to do a centralized monitoring, GoodWe is compatible with or can be linked to make a SCADA system. So yes, through Easy Logger, bigger plants, bigger installation, bigger controllers. So the SEC 1000, the Easy Logger are capable to communicate through the local network, and this can be interlinked or interconnected to the local or the SCADA system or the SCADA center. That is if you're using the IEC protocol. And yeah, our SENS portal, our inverters, we do offer different languages to configure and to monitor. So English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, yes, very many languages can be used with our inverters and monitoring portal or the softwares that we use in commissioning our system. So just to reduce the difficulties, the by language barrier, we are offering this and including more as time goes by. The list is quite long, just can't fill it in the same slide, but yes, there are many more languages that are covered in the GoodWe solutions. If you're lowering your OPEX, GoodWe has a solution for this. And one way to do this is we do offer various ways of mounting our inverters. So yes, we have up to 4. We can do an independent on-the-roof installation with a stand, IP65, so you're good to go. In case you don't want the option 1 to cast shadow on your roof, so on your modules mounted on the roof, you can do an inclined installation, option 2. If you are doing any ground mount installation, then option 3 is also available. If you don't want to do any mechanical or welding structures on your installation, then option 4, you can do all mounted on your any building or metallic structure, concrete structure, as long as it's found. Yes, so option 4 is available. So this is reducing all the costs or mechanical structures required to fabricate a mounting structure. One more feature is the GoodWe inverters have stream level monitoring. So if in case you want to do online monitoring or remote monitoring, the stream level monitoring, you get the raw values, current and voltage. Yes, so these raw values are not just displayed in Excel format. We have a graphical display in our SAMS portal. Yes, so SAMS portal is that quite advanced. So through stream monitoring, you can reduce your visits to site. You can reduce your level of, not really reduce, but you can really monitor the level of protection that your strings are operating in and how much or how far the string can be pushed. And this is a very quick way of analyzing faults. You can do it through your laptop or your phone, as long as these devices are connected to the internet. We do have maintenance you can do maintenance at night with our inverters. Reason being, the inverters can be powered on from either the DC side, the PV that is, or the AC side of the port of the inverters. So yes, in case you want to do your maintenance at night, you don't want to interrupt generation happening at day, you can visit the site, or still you can troubleshoot remotely in the night and still get the same data or data analyzed, downloaded from the portal as well. So maintenance at night is quite a unique feature. Well, in case you want to do USB flash update for single device, this is an optional feature because the same can be done using the SEC 1000 for batch updates. But if you have single units, then this is an option of updating your firmware. So you can do it through localized update or remote update of your inverters or PV systems. Mark you, the recording interval for inverters is at 1 minute interval. So that's how frequent we do monitor our systems, just to help you with the troubleshooting of your plans. Take, for example, you want to do you're connecting to a star grid connection or delta grid connection. Our inverters are flexible. It's a configurable setting. So during the commissioning process, you just select the type of grid that you're connecting to, whether it's star or delta. And in case you're doing the delta grid connection, then no need for the neutral, and this is saving up on the costs, up to 25% of cable costs for the AC. Our terminals are big. Take, for example, the HT. Each terminal can hold up to 240 square mm. AC cables, so yes, aluminum cables do work with our inverters as well. So copper or bimetallic plugs are allowed to be connected to our AC terminals of our inverter. One more typical application is if you want your system or if you want your installation to be a long-lasting solution, then GoodWe is a viable option for you. Our designs do offer long life cycle and are reliable and safe. Why or how do we say it is reliable and safe? The inverters are scrutinized and taken two very intense tests. You can see we have an IP65 test, and this is it's done by a third party to Vrenel. We have a temperature test, we have noise test, vibration test, hold test, salt spray test, all these tests just to ensure that the inverter is exposed to all these harsh environs, but still allow the inverter to maintain its long life cycle or long shelf life and generate power as required or as stated in the data sheets and manuals. Briefly, not quite briefly, I hope I wasn't so brief, but that was our C&I on-grid solutions. So we'll have a look at our C&I storage solution, which is taking quite a hit in the market. And we did have a chance to attend the Solar Expo in South Africa last week, and notices or liking as we've seen or had some liking in this solution, C&I solution. And our C&I solution encompasses three devices. We have an inverter, hybrid inverter. For information, we have an STS and we have lithium batteries. So lithium batteries, GoodWe does manufacture links F, links U, and links A. That is for the residential. For the C&I, we do offer a bigger high voltage rated battery called Link C. So the black panel you see there, that's a Link C black battery panel. Inside you have series of high voltage connected batteries. So our hybrid inverter comes inside packages of 50 or 50, 40 or 50 kilowatt three-phase rated inverter. The IP level is 6.6. You can flexible ways of communicating, Wi-Fi, LAN 2.0. Yes, and we do offer an off-grid solution, which is optional. That is, if you're taking the STS, then you are capable of utilizing the on-grid and off-grid solution, and you're capable of utilizing the paralleling of both the on-grid ports, the on-grid side, and the backup side of your system. These the 40 and 50 hybrid inverter has a UPS level switching time, so less than 10 milliseconds. And we have an 100% unbalanced output, so loads of up to 18.3 kilowatt. You can supply power according to the demand per phase, not just limiting or uniformizing the generation of the inverter. So yes, if you want to increase your self-consumption or PV utilization, just a configuration, it's a button configuration, and you activate the 100% unbalanced output. And by that step, each phase it will be supplied according to the demand or the load per phase independently. And each inverter, yes, it can occupy, it's able to utilize different orientation, different site conditions, so up to 4 MPPTs. And yes, this allows you to connect up to 8 PV strings per inverter. And the inverter is high rating, the MPPT is high rated, so you can utilize either the 182 mm or the 210 mm wafer-sized module. AFCI is an optional feature, so depending on your sensitivity or on the requirements or the insurance requirements, then the AFCI can be pre-ordered and the system can be even more safer, The ET 40 or 50 along with the STS allows you to integrate your system with the generators. So if your system you want to run off-grid with the 3 levels of priority, first priority being the PV, second priority being the battery, third priority being the generator. Yes, the system allows that. You can work with the grid, ensure zero export, Once the grid fails in UPS level less than 10 milliseconds, the inverters will be discharging power from the battery banks. And if the battery banks reach certain SOC or depth of discharge, the inverter can send a signal to the generator for startup, and the system can work with the generator as well, thus utilizing your PV and minimizing your fuel consumption from the generator end. You can parallel this installation, one inverter, 50 kilowatt, taking the higher end, 50 kilowatt. You can do up to 10. So 500 kilowatt AC. Each inverter can handle 3 banks of the link C. So 3 banks will be, taking the higher end will be 156 kilowatt hour. So an inverter, single ET inverter, 50 kilowatt, can hold 468 kilowatt hour of battery. If you do that for 10 pieces, you have 4.6 megawatt hour. That is big. You are enough to power community or a hospital. We have cases with hospitals or schools. Battery solutions in GoodWe can come in terms of IP rating. So if you want to do indoor, then you can choose the link C. If you want to do outdoor installation, then we have a containerized solution, which is a 50 kVA rated inverter, hybrid inverter. And on the right side, you have a battery panel, which will hold up to 100 kilowatt hour of battery bank. This is expandable. The battery bank is expandable. The ET is expandable for the containerized solution as well. So you can do 3 of the ET50s to expand on the AC side. If you want to expand on the battery side, you can do in steps, in banks of 100 kilowatt hour and extend your battery storage. This is an application scenario of how your system can work. Without STS, which was integrating the backup on the generator, then your system will be restricted to grid tied, or will be only work with the grid. Okay, and yes, self-consumption with grid tie solution, but this can be bettered, make it better solution when you you add the STS. Now with the STS, you can back up your whole plant or your whole community, as I mentioned before. So option 1 will be grid tied. Option 2 can be off grid, or can work with grid, or can work with the generator as well. So option 2 is the best choice for, if you ask me, option 2 will be the better choice for you in Africa. Yes, option 3 is, well, in case you have a big load, yes, and then you can do option 3. Yeah, so scenario 1 for option 3 will be big load with the diesel generator with an STS, and a control start and stop through a dry node. The diesel generator can work as a backup or charge the battery. For scenario 2, this is just for the big load, and the STS also needs to be integrated with the internal switch. And then, yes, this saves the cost for including an external switch. In case you want to expand your system, you want bigger hybrid, or you want to increase your installation, then we have 2 scenarios. You can do 4 inverters in parallel, and in this, use a unique controller called the EasyLink 3000. Yes, so it's a hybrid installation with 4 of ET inverter, EasyLink 3000. If you're doing more than 4, then scenario 2. That is up to 10. Scenario 2 will be required, and you'll be using a different kind of controller called the SEC 3000. That is up to 10 ET inverters. From this presentation, or from the installation done in Africa, we do have case references. There are many, but let me just take you over a few. We have the Apex Steel in Kenya, which is a 996 kilowatt peak, which utilizes the 110 HT rated inverters. So the system is installed and still ongoing and is working on well. We have another case in South Africa with the ANC Mall, which is a 1.3 megawatt, and it integrated 2 series of inverters, the 110 and the 120 kHT. We have the AG Bolore in Uganda, 120 kilowatt peak with the 100 100 kilowatt rated HT inverter. So case reference with the HT inverters, SMT inverters are available in Africa. So you can see the 580 kilowatt peak, and yes, many others of installation. So thank you for the attendance. We can't indulge in the Q&A, Elvis. Yes. So maybe if you have questions, then you can post them in the Q&A.
I did see a question from certificates. We are working on that with our marketing team. Though I also want you to register for our online learning platform. Please put the link in the chat. Therefore, you can be able to. Therefore, you can be able to just register as an installer on SEMS account. Then just click on the link to check our online learning platform. Sorry, I was on mute. So I was saying that for the certificates, we are working with our marketing team to provide the certificate, but also I have provided a link for our online learning platform, the GoodWe Plus. Therefore, first you just need to go to SEMS and register as an installer. Then once you register for our learning platform, you will get a certificate. For the technical and sales team for Southern Africa, specifically Zimbabwe, you are supported both by teams in South Africa. We have a team in South Africa, but also you can reach us to us in Kenya. We can be able to also assist. Then the presentation PDF, yes, we will send the PDF presentation via your emails. I believe Zoom has captured all your emails. Then we have two questions. Jen Musili, maybe you can allow you to talk. You can unmute. Oh, okay, we can go to Joel. Joel, do you raised your hand? Yes, Mufili, you can talk. Okay, you muted again. Joel? Okay, I think I'll allow Patrick to answer the question I'm seeing, the last question I'm seeing on the chat as we wrap up.
Yes, Cyrus, I see a question between asking about AC coupled and DC coupled. So the difference is how the battery energy source is coming from. So if you're doing an AC coupled, then your energy source to charge the battery will be coming from the AC side of the inverter. So the AC inverter, they usually is called an inverter charger. For us, we have also those kind of inverters. And you will get AC ports and DC ports to the battery. So only two ports or power ports, the AC side and the DC side, which connects to the battery alone. No PV strings connected to the inverter. Now, if you're doing DC coupled, then most cases, this is a hybrid inverter. So it will have three sources of two, let me say, it will charge the battery from two sources, not only the AC side, but it can also do DC side being the PV. So the battery can be charged from the PV or the AC of the inverter. So that's the difference between the AC coupled and the DC coupled systems. Any other questions? In case you're having difficulties doing an audio question, then you can just post it on the chat. Down below on your screen, you'll see a chat icon. Just click on it and type the question. Yes, Derek, you're asking about online training. Yes, we do online trainings for free. We just need to share scheduled timelines with you. Then if you have a whole team, the better. We can do a team training for you or your company or any person involved. Training for all the GoodWe products, battery, C&I, residential, utility, BIPV, if you're interested in that as well. So we do have online training. Maybe Elvis can send our emails, mine and him, or later on we can follow up with you. But yes, Elvis can type our emails there, then you can schedule trainings with you. Yes, Elvis already posted it. Eric, see a question from you. Customize hybrid. By customized hybrid solutions, maybe we follow up with you to understand further on by what you mean customized. But yes, we can do unique solutions as per each client requirement. So yes, kindly just follow up with the emails that Elvis just posted. Okay, Gloria, we don't charge you for trainings. It's free. We can do it remotely. Just like we've done here, we can do trainings remotely. In case you are close to our local support team, then yes, we can offer our physical trainings. And just to confirm, our trainings are for free. Our batteries don't require an isolation transformer because inverter side is three-phase 4-wire, so no need for isolation transformer for our battery systems. Just to answer your question, Joel. In case you want to purchase our products, we do have distributors all over Africa. So in different countries, So, Ruth, in case you want to purchase our products, just kindly reach out through the emails. My email, Wycliffe's email, Elvis' email, will direct you to your closest distributor to purchase our products from. So yeah, in Kenya, we do have products, distributors. So yeah, we'll just reach out and we'll direct you according to who has stocks and which stocks are available locally. Now, for large installations, yes, Gloria, there's a slide just presented right now. These are distributors. So in Kenya, we do have Northlands, we do have Chloride, we do have Solink. Yes, so support is in distributors are in Kenya as well, and do have stocks locally. And yeah, so in various parts of Africa, we have Enigma, we have Lille, we have Capri, we have Global. All these distributors are available. Nabico, yep, almost forgot. Gloria, we have Nabico. For large installations like mini grid, we have GoodWe transformers. Well, for utility scale, in case you're talking about utility scale distribution, then yes, GoodWe does offer utility scale installations. We have transformers from 3.5, 5, 7, and 9 MVA transformers. So unfortunately, we are running out of time. I see questions are still coming up thick and fast. So maybe we can escalate all this via email. Just through the chat, we have our emails links already typed in. So kindly do reach out. Apologies for the not short, but not too long, but very insightful presentation we did have today. So thank you for attending. Pass it on to Elvis. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, yes, can just say thank you for coming, and we'll send more invites. We intend to have this kind of sessions more frequently so that we can know more about our products. Thank you, and we will send the presentations as you've requested.